Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody? This is Joseph Conlon here with your NXT review on Thursday, March 4th, 2021. We had a big show on NXT last night featuring a women's tag team title match, a non-title NXT match, and a big match announcement for next week's show, which, may I say, next week's NXT is looking absolutely fire. So we are going to have our hands full today on the Big Fight Field channel talking some NXT. I thank you guys for joining me on your Thursday evening, Thursday afternoon, whatever you want to call it. I appreciate that. But just like last night where we had a co-host on AEW with Wesley Williams, today we have our new co-host too on NXT. I'm going to do the same thing I did yesterday. I'm going to stand up for this one, giving a warm introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a fantastic analyst for your NXT. He was on the Big Fight Field channel twice, and he was just on here to give you a preview for NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day. Here's my new co-host on Thursdays, soon to be Tuesdays, by the way, for your NXT review. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Cameron Johnson. Woo!
How you doing today? Man, it feels good to be back here on the Big Fight Field channel every week to break down NXT. I'm with the Brody. I'm with the Brody. To quote Russell Westbrook, I'm with the Brody Joseph, and this is going to be a freaking. This is going to be It's going to be the place to be Thursday nights. It's going to be the place to be Thursdays. I feel great. My Pacers got a win last night. The SpongeBob movie came out. And both NXT and AEW Dynamite were two really good shows last night. So that's always great to hear, man. Glad to be back on.
Absolutely. I thought you would be the perfect guy for this role. You know your shit. When it comes to NXT, I truly believe that you know your shit. And for now, yes, we are your tag team on Thursdays, but on April 13th, we will be a new tag team on Tuesdays because I want to get right into it. NXT is moving. I was going to save this for the podcast on Saturday, but I figured, you know what? I want to talk about it today. A lot of people are talking about it, but NXT is moving to Tuesday nights starting April 13th. They're moving to Tuesday nights because I believe of NHL, and they're moving to Tuesday nights right after, apparently, they're having an NXT TakeOver April 8th, WrestleMania week. Crazy news, a newsworthy week for NXT. I think everybody knows how big this is, how good this is, that AEW and NXT are moving to different nights. This is a big victory for the wrestling community. It's a big victory for NXT because I think they're going to get more viewers, and I think it's a big victory for AEW overall because they don't have to worry about competition, hopefully, on Wednesday nights. So, Cam, what do you think about all of this that went down this week for NXT before we jump into last night's show?
Long overdue. This is long overdue. This is a long overdue move. One of the bad things about NXT appearing on Wednesdays is that I think us as fans, instead of allowing the NXT and AEW product to grow, we kind of had to pick a side on what show are we going to watch Wednesday night? Are we going to watch NXT? Are we going to watch Dynamite? You can do the thing where you flop back and forth. I know that's what I used to do. And so you flip flop on NXT, you miss something on AEW. You flip flop on, you turn on Dynamite, you miss something big that happened on NXT. I think moving the show to Tuesdays is the right move. I think moving the show to Tuesdays is the right move. It gives everybody a chance to watch both NXT and AEW. Both products get to grow this way, which the more wrestling companies grow, which the more wrestling companies grow, the better. Anytime a wrestling company grows, the better. It doesn't matter if you're a fan of it or not a fan of it. Anytime the wrestling industry grows and shows do well, that means and shows do well. It's great stuff for the fans here. So this is great news for NXT. I'm glad they're moving, long overdue, and I can't wait for NXT to kind of program AEW Dark. Damn it!
Yeah, they're counter-programming AEW Dark, and they're going to counter-program Impact Wrestling, which is going to be on Access TV. But Impact could easily just move to a different night because they have Access TV. So I like it. It's a big victory for the entire wrestling community in the industry. Like you said, if there's a company that is going to get better out of this, you should be, supporting it, because I feel like with NXT now, like a lot of people back then, they knew who everybody was in NXT. A lot of people now, like, they might not know who, they might not know who a Bronson Reed is, or they might not know who a Austin Theory is, or they might not know who a Santos Escobar is. I think with them moving to Tuesday nights, more fans are going to watch the show, and they're going to start getting used to these younger guys that are going to appear on NXT a lot, and I like that, and it gets a lot of exposure for those young stars. What do you think?
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think this gives a lot of it. I agree with you about the exposure, with the news, about the exposure with the stars for the newer fans of NXT who might not know who these guys are. Who might not know who these guys are. Getting them on a platform on Tuesday nights is going to work. Is going to work great numbers. It's going to work great numbers, and the NXT brand as a whole is going to pick right back up. It's going to pick right back up in 2021. I truly do believe that. And this is going to be a great year, man. This is going to be a great year. I'm glad they're moving it Tuesday nights. Long overdue, and I think this benefits everybody.
Absolutely, I totally agree with that, but we got a show to talk about. That's what we're here to do today. We're going to talk about last night's NXT. Start off with a non-title match between Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, the tag team champions, against Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. If you realize, when Tommaso Ciampa was going to walk out in his entrance, Timothy Thatcher was staring at Marcel Bartel of Imperium, and Imperium actually came out later in this match, towards the closing point. Ciampa was distracted. Thatcher was distracted. Oni Lorcan, who was very underrated, by the way, knocked over Tommaso Ciampa. And Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, they hit their DDT to Thatcher, which Thatcher took a beating in this match. He was holding his neck. That's what he was selling. He was selling the neck. And your tag team champions get a big victory over Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher, with Imperium looking on. So I'm not sure what's going on here with Ciampa and Thatcher and Imperium. I'm not sure what it is, but what I could guess is maybe in a couple weeks on NXT. I don't see this match happening at TakeOver, but maybe in a couple weeks we get these two teams going at it. And I do see Timothy Thatcher eventually joining Imperium. So what do you think about this match? What do you think about Imperium and all this stuff with Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa? Take it away, Kim.
I thought the opening match here in NXT, I thought this was a very good match. I love Danny Burch. I love Oni Lorcan. And Timothy Thatcher is one of my favorite people to watch in the world, right? To watch.
In the world?
Wrestling. Yes, in the world right now, just because everything Timothy Thatcher does he makes everything look absolutely real painful. When you watch Timothy Thatcher in that ring, he makes it look like he is beating the absolute living shit, or the absolute living hell out of you. And that is one of the reasons why I love Timothy Thatcher. I love this Tommaso Ciampa Timothy Thatcher tag team. I want to see, I would love to see Ciampa and Thatcher hold the NXT tag team titles this year. I think that could be very intriguing. But I agree with you. I think Timothy Thatcher is joining Imperium. just off the way that, just based off the way that Timothy Thatcher was looking at Marcel Bartel and the way that, Imperium kind of made their presence known in this match here. I think Timothy Thatcher will join Imperium. I think Timothy Thatcher joining Imperium will, I think that would be great. And God help whoever has to step in the ring with whoever has to step in the ring with both Timothy Thatcher and Walter staring you down. I do not envy them at all. But overall, I thought this was very good. I think Thatcher is going to join the Undisputed Era, and I think Thatcher's not Undisputed Era. I'm
Imperium.
Sorry. Yeah, Imperium. I think Thatcher is going to join Imperium, and I think Imperium in 2021 is going to be the faction. I think that's going to be the big faction here. Here in 2021, I think Imperium is going to be on the brand of, I think they're going to be on the brand to call, to mess stuff up, and, be the heavy hitters on the brand this year. And I think Timothy Thatcher joining not Undisputed Era, I'm sorry. I think Timothy Thatcher joining Imperium would be the right decision to make. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, man, you are right about that. They could be a force to be reckoned with in NXT. Those 5 men, if they could get Walter to come back down seas, he's still the United Kingdom champion. I have no idea when his next offense is. I have no idea when he's losing the UK championship. But I would love for Walter to come back to America, be on NXT TV. And if he does come back, I'm just going to pitch this out there. For the pandemic, we were robbed from a Walter and Finn Balor match. If we could get that eventually, my God, I would absolutely pay. I would pay lots of money to see that match. That would be a 5-star classic in the making, in my opinion. So next, we have Roderick Strong, who comes out on the microphone. And this segment, it was okay. This was basically the setup, the main event for tonight. Finn Balor interrupted Roddy, and Roddy said the reason all of the Undisputed Era collapsed is because of you, Finn. And he said, it's because of my fault, huh? And he was talking trash at each other. And then Finn was like, I'll get a reason for Adam Cole to come out here. And he says next week, it'll be Finn Balor versus Adam Cole on NXT for the NXT Championship. And I'm like, whoa. We're getting Finn Balor versus Adam Cole again for the NXT Championship. They had a match in September to crown a new champion when Cross got hurt, and that match was excellent. The one-on-one match, not the 60-minute Iron Man. The one-on-one Cole and Finn Balor match was excellent, and we are going to live that next week on NXT. I absolutely love it. This should be a great match. And I don't know about you, Cam, but I'm going to go out here and say it. I'm going to predict Adam Cole's going to win the NXT Championship next week. Go ahead.
I agree with you there. I agree with you there. I agree with you there. I think Adam Cole is walking out of. NXT television next week with the NXT title. I can't think of a better way to kind of pay off this Adam Cole Kyle O'Reilly storyline with the whole breakup of the Undisputed Era than by having Kyle O'Reilly beat Adam Cole of all people for the NXT Championship. So, having him beat Adam Cole of all people for the NXT Championship, I think that's where this is heading. Finn Balor's had a great reign as NXT champion, I think. But I think it's Adam Cole's time next week. I think Adam Cole becomes a 2-time NXT champion. And, I agree with you there.
Now, I do think Adam Cole's going to win. But Finn Balor is one of those guys who he's a main event guy. He should be in the main event picture around the championship. Once Finn Balor loses that NXT championship, what is there for Finn Balor to do in NXT? Really, I cannot really think of much for Finn Balor to do in NXT besides maybe have a feud with Karrion Kross. That's the only thing I would like to see him do in NXT, and then he might be main roster bound again. I don't know, but what do you think? What do you think Finn Balor should do after he drops the NXT championship? If
he drops the NXT championship, I hate to say this. I hate to say this. I really, really do, especially with their track record of talent. But I think Finn Balor will go back to the main roster. I just do. Now, I don't want to see that happen. But if you're asking me what I think is going to happen to him, I think that's going to happen to him. I can't see Finn Balor, maybe Finn Balor in NXT. Maybe he sticks around for a little bit. We never did get that Finn Balor Walter match. So maybe we get Finn Balor and Walter. Maybe Finn Balor works with, maybe Finn Balor gets... maybe Finn Balor's role is to help work with some of the newer talent in NXT. Maybe we get Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano again. But I just, looking at Finn Balor and what else is there left for him to do in NXT, I think Finn Balor's main roster bound after he drops the NXT championship.
Yeah, I do too, unfortunately. Maybe he feuds with Cross. I don't know. We'll have to see. But we got a big NXT championship match next week with Finn Balor and Adam Cole. Throughout the entire night, they were showing clips of The Way, Johnny Gargano, Austin Theory, Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell. They were at therapy. It was constructed by this older lady, and Johnny Gargano was getting heated, and he's like, Dexter Lumis kidnapped Austin Theory, and now he's changed to this nice person and all that stuff. And Johnny then got kicked out of the therapy. It was then Candice, Indy, and Austin Theory in there. And they were speaking about like what they thought about this situation. And Candice LeRae, her phone was buzzing every 30 seconds, it felt like. And the therapist was like, is your husband texting you outside the door? So the therapist opens the door, and she says, both of you, out. Get out. So Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, they are both in there. Then it's just the therapist and Austin Theory, and Theory's saying how Dexter Lumis is a nice guy, and he's a fun guy, and we talked a lot. He doesn't really talk much, but the therapist was like, oh, he wouldn't stop talking to me once I met with him today. And he said that that Austin Theory smelled. He was atrocious. He was a really obnoxious, and he would just never like shut up or anything. And Austin Theory cried about it. And Johnny was like, oh, what'd you do to him? Yeah, this worked, huh? So I don't know. I was not a fan of this segment at all. It felt a little bit too childish for me. I'm not really sure what to think about it. What you think about the Garganos going to therapy on NXT?
I didn't enjoy this segment either. I didn't enjoy this segment either. I didn't enjoy it when they did it with the Undisputed Era. With if you remember that from last year, they sent Roger Strong to therapy with Dexter. They sent Roger Strong to therapy after his feud with during his feud with Dexter Lumis, and they had they had Kyle O'Reilly's the therapist guy there. I didn't enjoy it there, and I didn't enjoy it here either. The Way, I have not been thrilled with The Way, to be perfectly honest with you. I haven't been a fan of the way Johnny Gargano's been booked since he's won that North American Championship. I just think Johnny Gargano comes off as a complete. I just think Johnny Gargano comes off as a goof. Watching him, I think he comes off as a goof, and I hate to say that about the guy who was basically Mr. NXT, but I hate the way he's been booked as North American Champion. I did not think this segment was all that entertaining at all. Yeah, I didn't think this segment was all that entertaining at all. But the person who was never mind. But yeah, I didn't enjoy this. I didn't enjoy this segment.
Yeah, me neither. But I think we all know where this is going with the takeover announced. Johnny is going to be dropping that title to Dexter Lumis at the next takeover. Really quickly, we had Ember Moon versus Aliyah in a 8-minute match. It was fine for what it was. Nothing really to take away from this. Ember Moon wins with the Eclipse on Aliyah. 1, 2, 3. That's about it. That's all I got from this match. It was fine for what it was. Quick thoughts on this match before we move on.
Again, it was fine. This was supposed to be a squash match, get everyone over. Aliyah is just there to put over, Aliyah is just there to put over talent. That's their goal there. The Robert Stone brand, that's their goal there. Ember Moon versus Aliyah was fine. Shotzi Blackheart was at ringside, so this piqued my interest. This was fun.
Moving on here, I think this was probably the biggest thing on the show and the biggest talking point on the show. We had Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez against Nia Jax. Can't believe I saw Nia Jax on NXT. My goodness.
Okay, buddy, we're going to get through it together.
Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Now, before I start my criticisms, this was a good match. It was a very good match for the Women's Tag Team titles. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the physicality. But they had a bunch of shenanigans in there, and they did a mess finish. I don't want to drop the F-bomb on here, but they did a screw job to Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. So what happened was Raquel got the tag from Dakota. Nia Jax took her out. Nia Jax clotheslined her over the top, and then you see Raquel Gonzalez basically tackle Nia Jax onto the announce table, onto the floor. The commentators are moving, and Shayna Baszler then puts Dakota Kai in the Karafuda clutch, and Dakota Kai passes out to Shayna Baszler. But that's not the problem here. The official was knocked out. All of a sudden, Adam Pearce comes running out of nowhere to bring out what Vic Joseph said, a Monday Night Raw official, and Dakota Kai was not the legal woman. It was Raquel Gonzalez. So Shayna Baszler passed out the illegal woman in Dakota Kai. I don't know what was so hard about this. I don't know why we couldn't just take the titles off of Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax and put them on Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Those titles are not prestigious at all on the main roster. And I think the only way you're going to save those tag team titles is if they're with NXT. So this match was good, but they totally messed up on not giving Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez the tag team championships. I hope they make their case for a rematch, which I think should be at WrestleMania. You want a big spotlight over the NXT Women's Division. You want a big spotlight on Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Have them beat Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. That's what I would have done. That's what I would have done all along, and I wouldn't have even booked this match tonight. What do you think about all of this? The match, the outcome, Adam Pearce, just everything about this.
I thought the match was good. I thought this was a good match, but the booking in this match made me go WTF, because I thought the booking in this match made no sense. I thought the booking in this match, in particular the ending, made no sense at all. Made no sense at all. Why is Adam Pearce at the Performance Center, at the Capitol Wrestling Center, in NXT, and he's bringing down a referee? Unless I know Adam Pearce plays the commissioner on Raw, SmackDown, and unless I'm wrong on this, why does Adam Pearce? How does Adam Pearce have authority in NXT? That is the William Regal show. all the months Adam Pearce has been making appearances on Raw and SmackDown, not once has he been on NXT television. William Regal has been the general manager of NXT has been general manager of NXT since 2014, 2015? He's been general manager of NXT for years. For years. Everybody knows whenever there's an announcement to be made down there, William Regal and Triple H's storyline at least holds supreme power down there in NXT. And for them to not even, and for Dakota Kai, who wasn't even the legal woman in this match, to eat the pin, to eat the submission the way, to pass out and take the loss the way she did, I thought was completely and utterly stupid. Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai should have won the tag team titles last night. There's no reason at all why Nia Jax, why Shayna Baszler still needs to be teaming with Nia Jax. I thought this made absolutely no sense at all. No sense at all. Dakota and Raquel should be your women's tag team champions, and they should be the ones floating. From show to show each week. The only positive thing I can say about this is maybe this sets up a rematch between the two teams at either Takeover or WrestleMania, with Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez winning the belts there. But I just thought this was an overbooked. I just thought this was a poorly overbooked mess.
You nailed it right there, man. And poorly overbooked mess. And I don't understand why Adam Pearce was there alone. Regal should be in charge of what's going on and decisions and all that stuff. I didn't get that at all. But William Regal, later in the show, he did say that next week, because of what happened, he is going to make an announcement that is going to, quote unquote, change the landscape of NXT. I have no idea what that is, but you know what? I'm intrigued by what his announcement is. I have no idea what it's going to be. You have any ideas, man?
I have no ideas either. I'm stuck on what this. I have no ideas either. I'm stuck. I'm stuck on what this new announcement will be. Maybe this new announcement will be that Adam Pearce is banned from NXT, and maybe William Regal gets on TV and tells Vince and Bruce, "Look, Vince and Bruce, y'all take care of Raw and SmackDown. Me, Triple H, and Road Dogg, we got NXT over here. We don't need you messing up our booking over here like you do over there on Raw and SmackDown. Stay away." Maybe that happened. Maybe he's there to announce that.
Yes, sir. We're just gonna have to sit back and watch and see what Regal has to say next week. So, next came out newest signee LA Knight. He appeared at NXT Takeover Vengeance Day. He cut a promo saying he's the big star. You got your Johnny Garganos and your Finn Balors and your Kyle O'Reillys and your Adam Coles and all that stuff. So he cut a promo just to get himself over. And then I'm going to tie this into what the next match was. It was Bronson Reed against my favorite character on NXT. Yes, Cameron Grimes. He is absolutely funny as hell. He is amazing. He is so charismatic. He's now my favorite character on NXT. They had a decent match going back and forth. But Bronson Reed was going to the top rope for his finisher. The ref was checking on Grimes, I think, or something. And then LA Knight held the ankle, or he knocked off Bronson Reed off the top rope. I'm not sure. I think that's what it was. And then Grimes capitalized with a cave-in to Bronson Reed and got the 1, 2, 3. So it looks like LA Knight's first feud in NXT is with Bronson Reed. I mean, cool, I guess, but I don't know about you, dude, but I don't see LA Knight in NXT. I don't see him winning championships. I don't see him being a Finn Balor or an Adam Cole type guy who's going to be a top guy on NXT. The dude's 38 years old. Yeah, he can cut a promo. Yeah, he's a decent wrestler. I like the dude, but I don't see him doing much in NXT besides, being with the young guys, being in the mid card, and putting others over. That's all I see LA Knight doing in NXT. And I think he puts over Bronson Reed in this first feud. I might be wrong, but that's what I think happens. I think he's here to get younger talent over and put them over. What do you think?
Well, I just want to say this. LA Knight is a stupid name. LA Knight is a really stupid name. I hate that name at all. I don't understand why when LA Knight came back, he couldn't come back as Sean Ricker. Why he couldn't come back, not Sean Ricker, but Slate Randall, which was the name he used in NXT when he was originally there back in 2013, 2014. LA Knight is such a stupid name. It is a stupid name. I thought the promo LA Knight got was fine. LA Knight's a very good one. LA Knight, Eli Drake, he's a very good promo. I've known that going back to his days in Impact, and even with the NWA. Eli Drake can cut a promo. I think Eli Drake has big star potential written over him, but in terms of do I think he'll use that in NXT? No, I don't think LA Knight will use that. No, I don't think LA Knight will be a big star in NXT. When I look at LA Knight, I think he's what EC3 was going to be in NXT before they called EC3 up, which is a guy who was there, who has a big name, but at the end of the day, he's just there to help put the other guys over. I think that's the same thing that happens with LA Knight. Cameron Grimes is great. He's great. I saw Cameron Grimes live. I saw Cameron Grimes live at a independent show a couple years ago. I think this was in 2018 when he was going by the name Trevor. Trevor Lee.
Yes.
And I was rooting and hoping he would get signed by NXT because this guy is great. He's from my neck of the woods. He's from North Carolina. And this guy and this character has been absolutely great. And this character who, when he first came out, I was like, yeah. I just had no interest in seeing it at all. But Cameron Grimes, I think he grew on us. He's so dedicated to this character. And he's just so over the top with it. I'm Cameron Grimes, baby. I got GameStop money. We going to the moon. I think Cameron Grimes is great. But in terms of this being the first feud in terms of Bronson Reed being the first feud for LA Knight, I don't really know how I feel about this, man. Because I don't see LA Knight coming into NXT and losing his first feud. I don't. I think he's going to come in. I think he's going to beat Bronson Reed. But with Bronson Reed, I would like to see Bronson Reed built up as a North American Championship challenger. If Johnny Gargano holds on to the title, I think Bronson Reed and Johnny Gargano could be your match. Could be your match at the June or July takeover for that North American Championship. I wish they would do more with Bronson Reed. I just feel like Bronson Reed is there on the roster. But I don't think LA Knight is losing his first big match. Is losing his first feud in NXT to Bronson Reed. So I think LA Knight wins here. But I thought this was fine.
Yeah, it was good overall. Like you said, Cameron Grimes, man, he is so funny, charismatic. You could tell he's having fun with this new money character and stacking money and saying to Mr. Regal, "You can kiss my grits," and all that stuff. Is just absolutely, it's fun to watch, man. It really is. So then we got the main event here. We got Finn Balor versus Roderick Strong of the Undisputed Era. This was a great match. Roddy is great at what he does. Finn Balor is great at what he does. This was a great match in the main event. Back and forth stuff. Roddy hit a backbreaker off the top rope, I think, for a close near fall. And then Finn Balor countered a jumping knee strike from Roderick Strong into a shotgun dropkick. Coup de grace, 1916, and 1, 2, 3. Finn Balor got the win in a great match. After that, Adam Cole stood on the ramp, and we went off the air saying, next week's going to be a big week. Finn Balor versus Adam Cole. Io Shirai versus Toni Storm for the Women's Championship. Next week is can't miss. So that was the end of NXT. Great main event. Next week is absolutely stacked. We got 2 big championship matches. Cameron, what do you think about all of this, man? What do you think about the main event? What do you think about next week and all that?
I think next week. I thought the main event. I thought the main event of the show was great. I thought the main event of the show was great. And anytime you see Finn Balor and Roderick Strong in the ring, just expect a great match. These are two men great at what they do. So anytime they're in there, expect a great match. I'm liking the way they're building up this Adam Cole this undisputed breakup. I like the way they're building it up. I like the fact that the championship is being presented as the most important thing in NXT, as it should be. The fact that Adam Cole would be willing to break up all this friendship because he wants to be champion again. He wants the spotlight again. I love that. I think next week is going to be a big show. I think next week is going to be a great show. And I don't know if you saw this or not, Joseph, but I saw this on WWE's YouTube channel. Finn Balor and Adam Cole had a big pull-apart brawl. They had a big pull-apart brawl before next week.
I did not see that at all. I'm actually going to have to go check that out. But we got 2 great matches next week. Cole and Balor, Storm and Shirai. It should be a good one, man. Really quickly, I'm going to go with Adam Cole to win the NXT Championship, and I'm going to go with Io Shirai to retain her Women's Championship. What are your predictions for next week?
I'm going with Adam Cole to win the NXT Championship, and I think Toni Storm is walking out, and I think Toni Storm is winning the NXT Women's Championship next week.
Oh, interesting. Well, we cannot wait to be back here next Thursday. We got a huge NXT show to review for you guys. But that is it for today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the NXT review. If you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We got some more great content coming up for you guys this week. We got AEW Revolution preview and predictions with Noah Foster, which will be up around 4:15 tomorrow here on the channel. We got the podcast, the debut of the Big Fight Feel podcast. Saturday, we are going to do that. Sunday night, we're going to wrap it all up. We're going to finish the week with Revolution, AEW Revolution. Comment down below. What did you guys think about this week's episode of NXT? Hit that like button if you like what you heard from me and Cameron here in the review. And follow me on Twitter at Conlon_Joseph. And follow Cameron on Twitter too. What's your ad on Twitter, bro?
Cam71101.
Cam7101. And also go check out his preview and predictions for a Revolution with Escobar Morales and special guest DJ Storms. Any last minute words before we get out of here today, dude?
No, just make sure you do all those things. And I just want to say this right now. If you don't do those things, if I find out that you listen to this, that you watched this review and you didn't do any of the things that my good friend Mr. Joseph mentioned, just know it's not going to end well for you.
Oh, no.
I'm joking.
Oh, no. But ladies and gentlemen, you got to get used to this on Thursdays and Tuesdays starting April 13th. We are your new tag team to cover NXT. We will bring you the absolute best analysts on the NXT brand. Cameron, thank you so much for joining me today, dude.
I appreciate you for having me on, Joseph.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Have a good night. Have a good day. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy.